Question number 6, the light ether. And what is the function of the forces that work along the positive and negative pole? So remember, the question is not what does the positive and the negative pole do? The question is actually what is the function of the forces that work along those poles? It's kind of funny because when you read this, we don't actually find that answer. We find the function of the negative and the positive pole. But I'm going to let you think what you think. So here we go. It's on page 36 and it's number 3, the light ether. This ether is both positive and negative, and the forces which play along its positive and negative pole are the forces which generate that blood and heat in higher species of animal and people, which make them individual sources of heat. And the forces which work along the negative pole of the light ether are those which operate through the senses, manifesting the passive function of sight. Oh my goodness. So it actually says that the forces are not sight. So the function of the negative pole is not sight, hearing, tasting, touch. Those are the results. It says the forces which work along the pole operate through the senses. So that tells us something. It says Heindel is talking about like one step beyond senses, right? We have senses, and there is a pole of negative energy within the polarity of the light ether that is causing those senses. But what is the force beyond that? And that is what is manifesting these senses. Now, he's not exactly giving us, he's not giving them a name, her name is Becky, and she, you know what I mean? He's not doing that, but he is giving us a hint that he's not really asking like he was in the other, he was asking in the other questions, what is the function of the pole? And I want to really point out that he's not doing that here. He's asking you it's like that step beyond. So I'm going to keep reading. It's a couple more paragraphs, so you can stick with me, or you can jot down your answer since we read it in paragraph 1. So and these also nourish the eye, the negative pole, the forces behind the negative pole. In cold-blooded animals, the positive pole of the light ether is the avenue of the forces which circulate the blood, and the negative forces have the same function in regard to the eye as in the case of the higher animals and people. Where eyes are lacking, the forces working in the negative pole of the light ether are perhaps building, nourishing some other organs, as they do in us all that have sense organs. So in plants, the forces which work along the positive pole of the light ether cause the circulation of the juices of the plant. Thus in winter, when the light ether is not charged with sunlight as it is in the summer, the sap ceases to flow until the summer sun again invests the light ether with its force. The forces which work along the negative pole of the light ether deposit chlorophyll, the green substance of the plant, and also color of the flowers. In fact, all color in the kingdoms is deposited by means of this negative pole of the light ether. Therefore, animals have the deepest color on the back, and flowers are deepest colored on the sides turned toward the sunlight. In the polar regions of the earth, where the rays of the sun are weak, all color is lighter, and in some cases is so sparingly deposited that in winter it is withdrawn altogether and the animals become